I hear you, but it's just like, from what though? Like, just let it out. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not talking about your lucrative fantasy football career. I'm talking about life itself, man.
I mean, I'm already living in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, how well did you protect me?
No. I'm not talking financially. I'm talking about your personality that goes out into the world. Oh, hey, we're live.
Hey,
somehow.
let's go. Hello, world.
I like how he said the countdown when it was like 13 seconds ago, and we had to ask when we're going to be live.
I ain't know the countdown, but here we are. What's up?
This is a dude party. Wow.
Most of fantasy football is a dude party. There's only so many women sprinkled around.
It's like the same 6 women on every podcast. Go get Casey, go get Linda, Faith, and Lauren, and the Ball Blast girls. That's all of them. Go get them.
Oh, no, you forgot Katie.
Katie, of course.
Casey's in the closet with vodka right now, I think, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
exactly.
what's going on? Isn't she in the closet with vodka?
Because that's what happens when your in-laws come to visit you.
Well, I said I've got a great in-law. I mean, she cooks up a meat Sunday dinner, meatballs, sausage, pot.
Yeah,
my next marriage, I think I'm like, one of the things on my dating app is going to be like, must not have a living mother. Like, your mother must be dead. Or she doesn't even have to be dead. If you don't speak to her, that's fine.
But your last mother-in-law, but your last mother-in-law is the reason you came down here to South Florida that time, right? Because that was their family.
That does not make up for.
No, but it makes it up for me, at least. We got to do 2 live shows together.
Mike's in it for himself. He don't care about you and your feelings.
That was like 15 years of fucking pain, you know? Just 15 years of, Jesus Christ, shouldn't she be dead by now? Like, what?
Why don't you give her a shout out?
Dude, Shane, we are live right now.
No one's watching. There's literally no one watching.
We're gonna drink to that.
Is there even where is there link?
Yeah, here, Troy, to our matching glasses.
Our matching Dolphins club. Somehow we coordinated this.
Where's our link to send this out?
Oh, I'll blast it. I got fun.
Yeah, send the link out.
I gotta find out how to do that because last time I just invited everybody.
It's okay.
See, Shane, it's the same thing. We don't have control over the StreamYard here either.
I'm wasting all my good material on you fuckers.
I'm enjoying it.
I mean, mother-in-law jokes, they're good, but you can't keep rehashing like how much you wish your mother-in-law was dead. Then you just sound like an insensitive dick.
See, and that loops back to me protecting you because I do that. What's that typing?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
SOS.
So wait, hey.
Was that a
why does
I'm just on YouTube. What is this on? What are we on?
I don't know, Dougie. Where are we? Last time we did this, you said we had
You can't ask me questions if you want to know the link to stuff at the same time. What did I tell you?
While Dougie does that, last time we did this, it took 30 minutes to get introductions out of everybody that was in the room. So why don't we do it really quick and hey, start with you, Nate. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Nate Marcum. I'm on Fantasy and Frames, one of the writers there. Started up doing IDP work this year. I've had Mike on the show. Doug joined us now, so Doug and I are a tag team, I guess, cohorts. Can't wait. It's really fucking exciting. Wow, it's gonna be great. I don't hate my stepmother, or my mother-in-law or stepmother. I guess both are pretty good. Yeah. So then,
stepmoms are the best. Stepmoms.
No, Shane. No, Shane. Relax.
Stepmoms. I'm not saying one in particular. I'm just saying in general, stepmoms could get it. Well, not now because they'd be old as fuck. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mike, it's a protecting.
Good night.
You're doing a good job.
Later.
I tried. No, but my protection is deleting it afterwards. I can't stop him when he's saying it.
Yeah, I never had a good looking stepmom. My stepmoms were always atrocious. Like all those porns you see where the stepmom's all hot. I'm like, my stepmom was smoking like 3 cigarettes at the same time with like drinking like fucking Bud Select. You know what I mean? Just like 336 pounds. And I'm like, I don't want to. No.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Nate, you were saying.
No, I've got a good visual picture right now of him, and it is not helping. But yeah, fucking crazy.
So maybe this will take a half an hour again, Doug. Why don't we keep going through the circle? We'll go over to Mike Woellert.
I'm not quite sure how to follow that.
I'm so excited right now. I'm very excited.
Yeah, hey.
Talking about fat stepmoms.
There's no coming back from that. I mean,
Right.
I love fat stepmoms. Wee.
I had to clear my search history, man. I didn't know if it was like search. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, I'll stop talking.
Oh my God. So, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing okay. For those that may not know me, hard to believe at this point, but for IDP lead at Mike _ Woellert. Doing this IDP thing for a little while. Not quite sure what to say. I guess Troy, over to you, Troy.
That way, write it down.
My camera's backwards.
All right, I guess I'll
Are we
go.
off the rails yet?
Yes, a long time ago.
Yes.
All right, so what's up, y'all? I'm Troy King. You can find me at TK Mode. I am a writer for BallBlast.com, as well as I'm a co-host of Fantasy Football Confidential with my buddies Linda G, John Bauer, and Mitch Sorensen. So that's pretty much me, man. I'm not IDP. I learned from y'all. But I'm not IDP. I'm more redraft dynasty. A little tiny bit of DFS, but that's really about me, man.
That's awesome. Hey, wait, if you're gonna start talking about IDP, we gotta make sure that Shane doesn't really start crapping on IDP.
No, I mean IDP is
good tonight, Shane.
IDP is awesome. I'll at least say that because Mike's here and he's with a well-respected site, so I won't trash IDP or people that play it. I won't call them like meatheads or anything.
He does it enough on our show and plenty to do that.
That was so passive aggressive. It's not even funny.
Yeah, my therapist just talked to me about that.
Did your stepmom and mother-in-law play IDP a lot around you?
TK, I seen you just like 3 days ago, and you just had the mustache. Now you back to like the full beard. So
my facial hair is undefeated, man. It's not gonna stay a mustache for long, man. That was rough, man. I was getting roasted all over Twitter talking about looking like Steve Harvey. Mr. Potato Head, all that. So.
What was it like working with Buzz Lightyear?
But the Steve Harvey one was pretty good. Steve Harvey's hilarious.
No, I mean, look,
man.
I made my bet. What's funny is most people don't even know. But most people don't even know what the bet was about. So let me tell y'all what the bet was about. Everyone just saw me with the mustache. It was DJ Moore. I forgot who he played 2 weeks ago, but DJ Moore is supposed to get double-digit PPR points. I forgot who Carolina played 2 weeks ago, but he should have gotten it. He didn't get double-digit PPR points. That's why I had to go rock a mustache. So it was awful. I hated it, but my beard back is undefeated, so we Gucci now.
How long did it actually take? It wasn't even a week, and it's already back.
Nah, it was back like 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been that bad then. Mike,
you saw how I was roasted on Twitter. That was bad.
Mike, you said you've been doing this for a long time. How long have you been doing it? How long have you been over there at 444?
444, probably since 13. Been doing IDP since 07.
Is that what it is? Because I know when I started about 8 years ago, but I remember you were the first person that I ever went to for advice on IDP. And I remember meeting you in Canton. Was it 2 years ago now?
Last year.
It was last year, yeah. And definitely, you were the first guy that I had ever talked to about IDP. So you've definitely been around there for a long time. You guys should check him out over there at 444.
He was super excited when he met you in Canton. It was like a little like, I was like, you're a married dude. Like, I'm not going to judge you in any way because you do whatever makes you happy in life. But like, I thought we were going to have to call his wife and be like, look, make some changes.
Well, they were all like fawning over like all these people that they thought were so great. I was like, yeah, but Mike is the first.
Who did I fawn over? Who did I fawn over?
I'm not going to talk about who anybody fawned over.
I fawned over nobody.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not fawn, but you did. No, forget it. Never mind. Let's go on to our next guest here too. Pass it on, Troy.
What up, Hose?
All right, we just gonna go. We just going to order. Shane, you last, so
the other way.
You last.
The other way.
Am I next then?
Yeah, that way.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Nice to meet everybody. I kind of jumped in the middle of a bunch of shit that was going on. So
I can't believe you stayed. I would have been like, nope. Wrong party.
Mike's water's out, and Shane went like his mother-in-law or something. I jumped in on that. My name's Kyle Bellfuel at KBell54. I write over at idpguys.org. Mike edits my stuff and makes it readable and sound all right. So I appreciate that, Mike.
Been rough, but you know, I tried.
Can you fix his water?
Yeah, I should probably go fix it. I owe him, so I should probably go fix his water. I don't know shit about fixing water, bro.
Okay, let's do it, baby.
Yeah, you and Holly would have been tough, but you're on the track. You guys are getting there.
Mike's getting me there anyway, man. But no, man. So I've been writing the waiver article weekly, and it's snowing here, so I'm going to drink every beer in my fridge while we do this because this shit sucks.
Snowing there?
Yeah.
It's snowing right now?
Yeah.
Oh, snowing?
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
Today I got below 60, and I turned the fucking heat. I turned the heaters on.
It's 30 degrees and snowing.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before. I'm 52. I've never seen snow in my whole life living here in South Florida.
Well,
you're not missing much. You're not missing much.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
You say,
nice
I got to see
at.
snow. You're going to come to see snow. And they were like, all right, I'm getting the hell out of here.
This is fucking
Like, oh, wait, I have to drive in this shit too?
Yeah,
What the fuck? That's not, it's pretty to look at, but
I have no desire to see it. So
no.
And then our final guest all the way down there at the bottom, which I have plenty of experience with. But hey, Shane, tell everybody about yourself.
I'm Shane. I don't understand.
Get your mother-in-law's digits.
Yeah, I'm a lover of mother-in-laws, stepmothers, write for Dynasty League football, Dynasty Trades HQ podcast. You know, the cute little sign back there. That's actually based off my smile.
Your smile? Excuse me. It's not your smile. Fuck you.
That's it. That one I do Manic and Chill with Scott Connor on YouTube's. So on the Dynasty League football YouTube. Yeah. Whatever.
He also just tweeted out the link to this saying, everybody come check out this train wreck of a show.
Yeah, no, this is going to go bad. And if you hear anyone yelling at their kids because they forget to mute the mic, it's definitely not me. And I definitely don't care for my children.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing you said that because I can't edit it out in this show, Shane.
Yeah.
So, Dougie.
Oh, yeah. There will be no editing. Okay. There's you.
Okay, Dougie, you said you had a couple things you wanted to do tonight, so do them.
Okay.
All right, so with the 101, I'm going to take Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hey,
I like how you said it with no context, man. You got to introduce the draft first.
Don't be messing around, Jay. Nobody said anything about the horror movie draft. So I've moved on from that, and
we're not doing one. I thought we were doing a horror movie draft.
Wait, but do you consider that a horror movie?
I mean, I don't know. You watch it at Halloween or when you masturbate, whatever. It's just, it's a good flick.
Did you ever go to the theater and do it with the whole throwing the salt and throwing the toast and all that shit?
No, because I've never had anyone that would really do that with me.
Oh my God! We used to do that back when I was in college, back in the
30s,
in the 80s.
Yeah, we're gonna go see that new talkie. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I've heard great things about that talkie.
Oh my God! Oh my God! All right, go ahead, Dougie. Then do it. Then
what's the 102?
All right, Rocky Horror Picture Show is as much of a horror movie as Grease is a Gene Wilder movie.
Gene Wilder was in Grease?
What? Gene Wilder was not in Grease.
Was Richard Pryor in it as well?
Rocky Horror Picture Show, a horror movie.
Okay, fine. I won't take that. How about Ginger Snaps? I'll go with Ginger Snaps. Sure.
Ginger, that sounds even more like a horror movie. All right, moving on.
Oh my God.
I want to get into just a couple of names real fast, and it's who would you rather? We can do Dynasty because the majority of us in the room do Dynasty for our respectable sites. So I'm going to list some names, and then we're going to go down the list of where they're ranked now. So, for instance, the first name is going to be Jaguars running back, Mr. James Robinson. I know it's Manila favorite. So what we'll do is we'll start with James Robinson, and I'll go down the list, and we'll see who would you rather have the rest of the season, and we'll go around the room. I'm sure the majority of us would.
If you're gonna guess what everybody wants, what's the point of asking everybody? Let's throw it over to Nate. Hey, Nate, what would you like?
Are we just picking any name?
Just anything.
No,
I'll go.
Okay. Who would you rather have? James Robinson or CEH?
Why the really? See, and you have to start with the Kansas City person with the CEH talk, don't you?
And there we go. I'm starting conversations, fellas.
You are.
Made up on the fly. Here we go.
But in a dynasty situation, I would be comfortable with CEH because I don't believe that Bell's going to be there past this year. I don't think they're going to restructure any type of deal with him or anything to that extent. The rest of this season, oh my God, I want to, from my homer stance, take CEH, but James Robinson is just, I mean, he's completely monopolized that backfield, and I don't think that's something that CEH will do. I mean, he might lose, realistically, the premier touches, goal line and some of the third down receiving work. So I got to take Robinson as much as it sucks, and I have tons of shares of CEH, so anybody in any of the leagues that and I would never dump them, but if I could get some good return, I mean, I would have.
How'd you feel about Bell going there?
From a football standpoint, I was happy. From a fantasy standpoint, not so thrilled, just because I really wanted CEH to have I wanted him to have this full year to grow with that team and get better at the goal line. And sometimes the only way to get better is, consistent work. Obviously, we know he's done shit, 7 touches and basically negative yards and nothing working. I see it, it's no fun. But Bell, I'm intrigued by one thing. Bell hasn't had a stack or a light box in I don't know how long. And Shane, the light box reference is not towards your stepmom. It is in reference to less than. Sorry.
Oh and I need a rim shot.
And back in. Harness it
wow,
in.
You guys are really, really dirty. I got rim shot and light box back to back. Jesus.
Only you could turn the word rim shot into something dirty.
Oh, I can't wait to have Doug with me on a PG podcast that our friend Jorge puts on. So it is,
Yeah, I can get professional when I need to.
Yeah, I realistically, how can you not be excited to get Lev Bell at least in some capacity to your team? I mean, you should integrate pretty good.
Troy, what do you think?
So I gotta go dynasty. For me, it's definitely CEH. I feel like long term. Again, I'm just like Nate said. I think Bell, is going to help him this year, but he's not going to be there long term. They're not going to sign him to a long term deal.
God,
it's
so
CH's backfield. So I would say that.
Oh God!
But in terms of this season,
sorry, TK. Sorry.
No.
I gotta mute it.
What's happening? What is happening?
No, he right though. But this season is the tough one. But I gotta go Robinson, man. He has the whole backfield to himself. And again, like they've been using him, whether they're ahead, whether they're behind. Like he's involved in every aspect of the game. So I feel like, and he had no one stealing work from him except for Chris Thompson. Sometimes for some reason keeps getting playing time. He doesn't look great. So give me Robinson for the rest of the season. But dynasty CEH definitely.
You gotta unclick it. Oh, hey, hollering.
Doug, were you gonna ask different?
Doug, who are you talking to? Is there someone in the room with you?
No, I'm going back to mute.
Who's Doug? Doug, you were gonna ask them individual questions, right? Weren't you gonna ask them people?
Oh my God! Let's just move on. But if that was funny, if you find a stepmom with a light box, I've got it.
I'm back. Okay. All right. Here we go. Moving on to
Mike Woellert.
Mike Woellert. Chris Carson or James Robinson. Rest of the season.
Rest of the season?
Yes, sir. And dynasty. Give you both your opinions. Redraft and dynasty. Go ahead.
I mean, at this point, it's just hard to argue against Robinson's, his production, both dynasty and for the rest of the season. I mean, he doesn't get very many touches, but boy, what he does with the touches, big playability, touchdowns in a couple of games. He's, his targets, he's getting targeted in the passing game. So, Chris Carson, a little bit of, I guess, an injury history, which is a little but I really like Chris Carson, but, I can't argue with the production that James Robinson has had. So I'd probably take James Robinson.
What's he pulling up all of our Scott Fishbowl standings to see who has relevance? Because keep scrolling down, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Mike was like 1400s.
I was looking at Scott Fishbowl's scoring for redraft leagues is all and it's the first game.
Okay.
So Cipes, you want to go on to the next one? And I got the next name ready, buddy.
Yeah, Cipes has disappeared, so I'm going to go ahead and take over the Cipes role.
Go ahead.
And I would take CEH over. You didn't give me a player. I got nothing.
Kareem Hunt.
Nah, motherfucker. Man, I mean, Dynasty, obviously CEH, right? Redraft, you got to go Kareem Hunt. I mean, Nick Chubb's out for at least, another 5 weeks at least. We're not even exactly sure what happened to his knee other than it got tore up.
Right.
He was already a top 15 back before Chubb went out. His opportunity share is going to be close to 70-75% every week. And that just CH isn't going to have that. Not with Bell there. Bell's still one of the best pass catching backs in the league, at least our last memory on a decent team he was. I'm going to assume that some of those skills still exist.
Okay. Who are we off to next? Woellert, have you got in on this?
Yep.
Yep, he was first.
Second.
Third.
Fourth.
Right. How about
have we made it around the room?
Has Troy gone?
No, it's Kyle's turn.
Kyle,
Okay.
KB.
I'm up? Okay.
KB,
All right.
we got James Robinson or Joe Mixon. Rest of the season, and Dynasty, buddy?
Oh man, I'm gonna go Mixon in Dynasty, and I'm gonna go James Robinson in redrafts. I guess it's close though. I'm a big Mixon fan.
That's a close one. That's an 8 and 9 out there.
That's definitely a close one.
That's about as close. Them two right there are 3 points apart, and they've had pretty serviceable.
Well, Mixon had just one big game,
right?
Yeah, I mean Mixon had
had a big game, I think, in week 4, and that is just
right.
It really boosted up his stats. Other than that, I don't think he's really done a whole lot.
No, he's had a slow start. He had the one big game, but I still like him in Dynasty, but I would take Robinson the rest of the schedule.
Would anyone take Robinson over any of these guys in Dynasty?
I wouldn't.
I took Robinson over Carson. I'd take Robinson over
Carson.
Take
Robinson over Carson?
Yeah.
Just because you're worried about where Carson's going to be next year?
Potentially, and then just, once you're dinged up as a running back, it just seems like the injuries don't go away.
No,
I've got him in a few leagues, and I'm hoping he stays healthy the rest of the season. So, but if you give him the work, he's going to produce.
Yeah, I got out of Carson in a lot of leagues over the summer because I'm like, he's coming off a hip injury. That can't be good for a running back. Ready week 1, and he looks absolutely fine. Yeah. So I'm thinking he's not indestructible because he's always getting injured. But he's come back from like a broken leg before, whatever that hip injury was. The guy just seems to crawl his way back. What do you have, 7 targets last week? Like he's worked to make himself a hell of a receiver. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
He's the epitome. He is the epitome of I'm a guy who's not going to let I'm the guy who's not going to let my backup outshine me. You're going to have to just drag me off the field. You're not going to see my backup.
It was probably
Go ahead. Do you guys think that the Seahawks extend him? Do you think he's going to be with the team next year? I'm conflicted, but do you guys see Carson staying with the team or?
I could, because I don't think he's going to cost I don't know. I don't think he's going to cost very much.
That's what I'm thinking. I think the perception from other GMs is the same thing we feel, which is that he's this dinged up kind of, he's not fragile because he still plays through. The question is what do they think of like a DJ Dallas going forward? They haven't seen anything out of him. You think to answer that question, do you think they actually get Dallas involved whatsoever going forward just to see if they have an ace in their back pocket just in case he walks or in case they don't sign him?
Well, he just went on the IR, right? DJ Dallas? Or that was Darrington Evans. I'm sorry. Yeah. Never mind. Different guy. Different team. Not even the same fucking team. Like, not even, no effect whatsoever.
Both running backs. Close enough. I'll take it.
You know what's funny, though? And I think I've noticed this a lot in Dynasty is it's always our narrative that we go, the team's going to want to see what they have in a young guy. And the team's like, no, we're good. Like, we're fine just throwing him out there next year and finding out at that point.
Sorry, son.
Okay.
Like Detroit with AP.
Yeah.
Especially this year. I mean, I've never seen, and I don't know if it's just a lot of new Dynasty people. But a lot of people just like, hey, after 3 games, should I just like give up on this rookie? It's like, dude, it's 3 games and he's gotten 10 snaps. This is a completely different season that we've gone through. You gotta give it time. And if you're just gonna give up on a rookie, don't play Dynasty. You gotta let these things simmer and percolate, and
everybody's chasing too. I've never seen the chase like I have this year. Not to be a punny, but now Chase Claypool is apparently the wide receiver one out of this place. Like, guys, just calm the fuck down. Like, it's not week to week. It's really not. Like, if you like Jalen Reagor, now we did a redraft on DLF, and I think he fell to like run 11. But like I've heard other drafts where people are redoing the rookie draft, and he's fallen in the middle of the second round. And I'm like, what the fuck have you, like, seriously? For 5 games and I understand the history of, wide receivers not producing in their first season. But yeah, you're right, Mike. People are just chasing and playing it like it's very interesting how it's being played this year.
It's like in your rookie draft, you believed in this guy and stick to it. Give it a couple of years. Redraft, you knew was going to be completely different. I mean, a lot of these people taking Jonathan Taylor in the second round or taking, Hilaire in the, top 5. I'm like, dude, these rookies haven't had a formal offseason in redraft. It just didn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, you take Jonathan Taylor. I'll take Chris Carson all day long. Someone who has established himself with production and doesn't really necessarily need an offseason or a preseason. These guys didn't get any formal anything. So redraft, I kind of avoided rookies for the most part, especially at running back, but I've got a few wide receivers. Like I got Ayuk late, which isn't too bad, but in Dynasty, just let them chill on your bench, chill in your taxi squad. Just don't worry about it. They'll get there. They'll, next year is when you really are going to have to take a look is when you'll take a look.
Right.
I think a lot of people are reacting to the way with COVID and with the uncertainty every single week on whether their team's even going to play, and then the amount of injuries that are happening. People are really getting nervous about doing stuff. We've talked about it on our show a million times, how everybody expects every one of these rookies to come in and be the end-all, be-all, the greatest player to ever play, And this year it's a lot different.
I mean, I did it with IDP. I know I did it with IDP. I think I did it with Patrick Queen, who luckily is producing. But, I wrote up Isaiah Simmons, and he can't even get on the field.
Yeah.
I have Jeremy Chin hoping he starts because it's the same kind of thing. Everybody told me Jeremy Chin was going to be good, so I have him everywhere.
And that's working.
Yeah, I wrote up Chin, but a lot of the other guys I wrote up got immediately hurt at the beginning of the year. Like Delpit got hurt, McKinney got hurt, all those guys got hurt right before the season even started. But luckily, Chin is obviously looking really good right now.
Yeah, and I like in Sleeper they gave him both linebacker and defensive back, so that's been helping.
That'll be soon. Platform, all platforms. By the way, in my opinion, is him getting that linebacker tag because he's played that outside, that right side linebacker position about 80% of the snaps this year. So he'll be getting a linebacker tag pretty soon on platforms. All platforms, I'd say, pretty soon, in my opinion.
Shane's making faces because there's too much IDP talk.
No, I heard of the who's the kid from Baltimore, the linebacker, Queen?
Yeah.
I knew him, and then you guys started talking about some other players, and I'm like, oh, we're going to keep going with this. I'm going to lay down now.
No, hey, what I was saying,
I lay down in my head.
The way I compare it to is like, I believe that if Kenneth Murray was drafted to Baltimore, he'd be producing the same exact way. Yeah. The way that if Cam Akers was drafted to the Jaguars and then they got rid of Fournette, how Akers would be eaten in Jacksonville. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of it has to do with where you draft.
I got it. Yeah, I mean, Akers' situation sucks, and look at Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins. For reasons unknown, they want to roll out the corpse of Mark Ingram and Gus.
Because they're already paying
DFA Edwards. It's just
okay. All right, now that I killed the complete show with IDP talk, I am so sorry.
I thought it was a good conversation. I don't even play that much IDP, but I think you need to play. And I know Shane's an IDP hater, but you should play all. I try to play all styles. I'm awful at IDP, and I also play in a campus to Canton league, and I play in a campus to Canton IDP league, and that makes my life miserable. But I wouldn't stop doing it because I need to learn all aspects of the game if I'm going to talk about them. So that I can come on shows like this and not have to sit quiet for 10 minutes or something. But that's of course. I think Troy King
called that was a shot directly at me. That was literally a shot directly. You might as well just say it's Shane.
Shane, I'm with you, bro.
100%. That was awesome, Troy.
See, Blitz, it's not just you that I throw shots at on the side. I could get a shot at anybody here and there, just got to direct them in. But I think Troy King called my power company and had my power shut off right before I was coming on, so he could be the first Troy on the broadcast.
Wow, we got power out.
That's all part of my plan.
Well, then Shane, Doug actually had some "Who Would You Rather Have" IDP players, so maybe you should lay down.
I'm on this. So not Nate Gary. Not
right.
Nate Gary.
From
the guy who supposedly is not a Philly fan anymore.
But look, I gotta watch what I gotta watch. I get the local games. You're in Philly, they're gonna give you the Eagles game. I can't go to my local cable company and be like, look, I don't like to root for the Eagles anymore. Is there a chance I could get, some out of market games? Oh, yeah, dude, we got you. Where you live? Yeah, we'll send it over. Yeah.
So I'm in New Mexico where they don't really have a home team. So we get Cowboys, Broncos, Arizona, whatever they want to throw at us this week to call it the home team.
Really? In New Mexico? That's how they do it?
Whatever state is touching, that's who you're going to get.
That's cool now.
We get some Broncos. We don't get much Cardinals, but we get some Broncos. Lots of Cowboys fans here. Lots and lots of Cowboys fans. Lots of Bronco fans.
Well, New Mexico,
we'll get a Cardinals game.
Texas, right? It's like a suburb of Texas.
Yeah, sure. Dallas is only like 12 hours away. No big deal.
Around the corner.
Suburb of Texas. Don't start with Mexico with Doug. So, Doug, what was one of the other ones you were talking about?
The problem with Mexico, now.
All right, because
someone's going to come in and listen to that just in context, like this Shane guy. They're just going to hear that. The problem with Mexico, they're just going to hear that.
Oh God! Damn it. He's right. We shut it down. Shut it down.
That's why this is Dumpster Fire. That's the perfect name.
Very fitting. Yep. Very fitting.
All right. Since just some of us do IDP and all of us do offensive, let's go to wide receiver. And a hot name in redraft and dynasty right now is DK Metcalf. I want to talk some DK Metcalf. And who would you rather? DK Metcalf. We're going to go with KB first. Kyle. What's up?
Okay. All right.
DK Metcalf or Amari Cooper. Redraft and dynasty.
Metcalf, both ways, man. Dynasty and redraft. I know he can't run around 3 cones worth of shit, but he's looking pretty good this year.
People are going to take for granted that drill now. Everybody's going to be like, well, that drill don't matter. Look at DK Metcalf.
Exactly.
He just happens to have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all damn time who is perfect for his skill set.
Absolutely.
Let's discount everything that he did badly. So because everybody that comes out is going to be DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even understand the 3 cone. I don't think it's real.
Yeah, right.
I think it's a fictional character at the NFL Combine. Yeah,
it's like Westwood. It's the Westwood of the Combine. I love it.
Now, as long as he's hooking up with Russ, I think he's going to be successful. So,
I mean, it helps that they're like, hey, you're good at this.
Yes,
so this is what we're going to keep doing until someone stops it. And the entire league is like, we can't stop it.
We can't stop it.
Please stop, because he's really big and he's really fast, and he just keeps running by us. Like, we know it's coming, but what are you going to do? You're going to sit a safety 45 yards down the field? Well, then he'll just come underneath, for a short 20-yarder.
Yeah,
dude is a...
And he's been running some good routes, and he's put in the time and the practice. That's the thing is you can't. I'm probably one of the biggest DK Metcalf haters out there. But as soon as he was drafted, I said that's where he needed to go. He needed to go there, Kansas City, and I instantly moved him up to like 7th or 8th overall on my draft boards. And I had him in like the 3rd round before that. So these people that say landing spot don't matter have never seen DK Metcalf play with like Ryan Tannehill. That would have been bad. But when you give him to Russ, who could hit everything on a dime, I mean, it just run long. That's all they tell him. Go long, DK. We'll get you right in his hands. I feel like that's what they do in Kansas City. Go long, guys. We'll get it to you. Right there.
Works.
Yep.
It's funny. Shane always shits on IDP.
Cipes.
Yes. I was going to say how Shane always shits on IDP, but he always has good commentary about offensive players playing against IDP players.
I've always told him that, Cipes. Always. I've always said, yeah, but you are so good at talking about it. But, he's always like,
I mean, I'm good at lots of stuff. Talking about lots of stuff doesn't mean I want to do it. Like, I don't know if we want to get into that, but I mean, there's lots of things I could describe in detail, but it doesn't mean that I should be doing it.
Don't let him do it. Don't let him do it. Please.
We don't want to hear it.
I'm just
That's
saying.
for the Patreon. That's for the Patreon.
That's for the Patreon, yeah.
Moving along, Troy.
Which one?
There's two.
I'm TK. I'm TK. He's Troy.
TK knows that I'll always call him TK.
Yeah.
So, other Troy, we're going DK Metcalf or Stephon Diggs. Rest of the season.
And I don't like Diggs at all. So Metcalf. I'll take Metcalf rest of the season and for Dynasty. Really, I've come around on Metcalf, even though I was saying how I'm not a big Metcalf guy, or I wasn't. I mean, one, I write for the biggest Metcalf stands out there, so you kind of have to love Metcalf now. But but besides that, I don't have him. I'm not one of these people that's trading him for Michael Thomas that I've seen happen. I've seen him traded straight up for Michael Thomas. I'm not there yet. But I mean, he's probably top 5. I mean, I love DJ Moore, and if somebody offered me DK for DJ Moore right now, I might pull the trigger on that. But I mean, there's probably only 5 or 6 receivers that I wouldn't instantly pull the trigger for DK Metcalf on, and a couple of those I might even think about it.
When you say you write for that, who do you write for now for that?
I write for Kate and those guys, and they are Ball Blast. They are huge DK guys. I mean, Michelle had him like wide receiver number 1 on her board or whatever to start the year, and how she was there before everybody else. So that's been her feather in her cap. And I've always been a Metcalf. I've always been lower than everybody else on Metcalf. But yeah, just looking at the list that's on the screen, I would honestly take Metcalf over Hopkins in Dynasty. I would think very hardly about Ridley. I'd probably take him over Ridley. I'd rather have him than Thielen. I'd rather have him than Diggs. I'd rather have him than Amari. I'd rather have him than Allen Robinson. CeeDee Lamb might get me to stop and think out of that list. Definitely over Robby Anderson. I'd have to think on Tyreek.
Robbie.
Wait, TK started laughing over Robby Anderson. Why are you laughing about Robby Anderson?
And that's a good transition. TK, what you think, man?
He's laughing about Robby Anderson.
Dougie asked me a question. I'll address the Robby Anderson thing, but you could ask me like the either or. I'll address Robby Anderson.
I was going to say rest of the season, TK, Tyreek Hill or DK Metcalf.
Ooh, I'll still take Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's actually. I thought it'd be a lot easier to say that, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, DK's look good, right? But I think I'll go Tyreek Hill still. I'm not for the rest of the season. I'm still gonna stick with it. I was laughing about Robby Anderson, right? Because
I agree. No, I know, TK. Yeah. That just made me because I got it on the share screen, and I'm not very good at multitasking. I forget who is in the show. So therefore, whenever somebody says something, I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's here," and then I'm like, "Okay."
All right, so he answered your question. So now let's hear why he was laughing about Robby Anderson, though.
Okay, so I'm laughing at Robby Anderson just because, man, I don't know where the hell he came from. And and also I'm like, yo, because everyone's on the DJ Moore train. Everyone was like, yo, and me included. I thought he was going to be obviously wide receiver 1. All of a sudden. I mean, I know they paid him, the 2-year deal, but no one expected Robby Anderson to be doing what he was doing. Nobody, at least majority of people. But now he's a top 10 wide receiver. Adam Gase. That, but still, we never thought he was going to be number 1 over DJ Moore, though. And that's the crazy thing.
TK, when you said no one and then you switched it up to majority, nah, fuck that. It's not majority.
No,
literally nobody was out there counting Robby
Nobody
Anderson as a wide receiver one. And if you got received for that, I'll blow you.
Exactly.
How about to say there might be somebody in the Twitterverse that might have believed in Robby Anderson. I don't know them, but
and those people are coming out now. No, and they're saying, "Oh, it was the Temple connection." That's what made me think about that. Is him and Matt Rule have that connection from college? No, the fuck you didn't. You were using that just to support your narrative, and it's crazy.
The only reason I was raising my hand, the only reason I liked Robby Anderson, I had him on a bunch of leagues, and then when I met him at the NFL Experience for the Super Bowl, he signed my belt and he signed it to the champ. So the fact that he signed it to the champ, I went out and drafted him in like every league I was in.
And then he was like, "Hey Mike, I'm going to come in your wife's eye."
No, but you said to me, you said, "Oh, I hate Robby Anderson. He sucks, man." And I was like, "But I like him because he signed my belt." That was the reason.
Do you ever notice how Blitz drops all these cool things that he does? Like it's no big deal. I was at the Super Bowl and just happened to run into Robby Anderson.
That's right, man. It was awesome. It was fun.
I was at the park the other day, and
I walked through Michael straight hands, middle teeth. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see. Cipes, I need a name.
What? Go ahead and ask K-Bow.
Kyle Boitella. Let's see. Let's go with rest of the season. You think Cooper Kupp stays healthy and the number one there in LA? Or is it DK show, buddy?
DK or Cooper Kupp?
Yep.
Is that I'm gonna go with Metcalf again. I actually already went, so I don't know if
no, you just keep going. You go as many times as you want.
All right, I'll take
as many
Metcalf
times as you want you to go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did the entire top 10 and screwed up the whole thing.
Going for the next one. I'm just going for the next one.
Okay, I'll take Metcalf. I do like Kupp, but I'll take Metcalf.
Staying on you, brother. Staying on you. We're going with. All right, the name is
JT Watt, TJ Watt.
Cam Jordan is the multiplier. How would you rather have rest of the season and dynasty, Cam Jordan or TJ Watt?
Oh,
that's easy for me.
Yeah, I'm taking TJ Watt, dynasty and redraft. As long as he's got that edge or defensive end designation for sure. But yeah, TJ Watt's just a stud. So huge fan. And I mean, I like Cam Jordan. Don't get me wrong; he's dependable, reliable. He's out there every game. But yeah, definitely go TJ Watt.
All right, Nate. Going over to you, homie. Let's go with the name Yannick Ngakoue or Zadarius Smith. Both of them at defensive end, rest of the season and dynasty.
So dynasty, I think I got to go Zadarius. I'm intrigued to see with Ngakoue when. I mean, do we know anything about Dannel Hunter? I mean, they're talking about he might have to have spinal fusion, cervical surgery. I mean, that could be potentially impactful this year and next. I have to believe that with Hunter, Ngakoue's looked much. The last couple of weeks he's looked a lot better, and I mean, just the presence on that other side, should help, right? I mean, and this is the crazy thing about the IDP scenario is that this is the first year that I've ever done IDP in any facet whatsoever, other than I played fantasy football for 25 years, and I know there's a defense, but I get asked to write IDP stuff, and I don't know shit. And Mike's one of the first people that comes onto our show each week to talk about it, and I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm reading, not making up stats, but basically pulling statistics out of my ass. I'm like, well, he has 37% tackle rate, and I'm like, that is right, but I don't know. So just to at least have an idea that I can say Ngakoue might improve because Dannel Hunter's presence might allow some. means I still don't know shit, but at least I can fake my way through it a lot better than I could about 2 months ago.
All right. From IDP to the GOAT.
I like how Doug's just going to go right on from that. He's just going to move right past it.
Mr. Mike Woellert. Zach Cunningham is a guy that I've not been able to come around his whole entire career, man. I just ain't been able to do it. Zach Cunningham, or let's go with John Bostic. Rest of the season. Rest of the season. Rest of the season, Mike.
Really?
Yes.
That's why I laughed. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Oh,
Is John Bostic a real person?
John Bostic is a real person. He's a man.
I think y'all are exaggerating here a little bit. The guy is putting up crazy numbers.
That's funny that you said mad. That's Shane's favorite word is meh.
Meh.
Yeah.
Because that's his Tinder profile bio.
Bio. How'd you make bio a multi-syllable word? Also,
so
same way I do y'all.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Mike. Why is that a funny question?
So is it Indukwe Njoko? Yeah, that guy.
This one is a no-brainer. I'm taking Cunningham over Bostic in redraft and dynasty. One, because I think Bostic is, Bostic is going to be 30 next year. Cunningham is going to be 26. So I'm taking Cunningham, and it's not even close. Not even close.
Zach Cunningham or Darius Leonard. Rest of the season and dynasty. There, Mike. That's what I was looking for. And my show notes, and I'm dropping glasses, and I need a cigarette. And
and Shane says, "Whoa!" Like it means anything to Shane.
Yeah. Well, in redraft, I'm taking Leonard even with his injury, even though I don't really know the extent of it. But Cunningham has proved to be elite. So, I think you could put Cunningham in the same, almost in that same breath as now Leonard and as Darius Leonard and Jalen Smith. Bobby Wagner's getting up there in age, but Cunningham is proving he's an elite IDP guy, calling the plays on the field. 53 tackles already. So, it's closer between Leonard and Cunningham than it was Cunningham and Bostic, but I'm still taking Leonard just because he's also just one of those multifaceted guys that does everything. He gets the big plays, sacks, and interceptions. So, Leonard over Cunningham, but Cunningham over Bostic for sure.
Am I on shared screen still? Stop. Okay. There we go. Hello.
I don't think you can tell your screen what to do. That's not how that works.
Yes, I can. I have this deal called Cortina, and I can say, "Hey, Cortina."
You named your computer Cortina?
No,
it's Cortana.
Cortana.
Cortina's her Spanish cousin.
Yeah, it's Cortina. I think she's Mexican. I don't want to allege it.
Don't bring up the Mexican again. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Hey, you know what? I've asked her for good chocolate alcohol recipes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to go somewhere else completely. I looked at Troy like, what's coming here?
I was scared where I was going to go too.
Oh my God. So go ahead, ask Shane one. Ask Shane one.
All right, Shane.
Yeah.
We are going with. Oh God, let me screen go.
We could do IDP. That's fine.
I was going to say, find him the most obscure IDP combo you can find.
Hey, Shane, who here, hold on. Shane, who'd you rather have for the rest of the season in redraft? Foisede Oluokun or Kazir White?
Oh, I would love to say Okwalon every week. Fusaces was bringing the heat this week.
The best was on our show a couple weeks ago. He tried to pronounce someone's name and he said, "My mouth just gave up."
Zacharias Abudeus or something. I don't remember.
Denver's backup tight end now is the guy that is just going to be like everybody's problem.
Alberto Dickin. Yeah,
exactly.
Shane, I really do got one for you, buddy. We're going to tight end. We're going to tight end, and I want to know Janu Smith or Mike Gesicki, rest of the season and dynasty.
Guys, real quick, I'm going to head out. I got to head out. So just
love you, man.
See you later, Mike.
Bye, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
Later.
See you, bud.
Have a great night.
Later, Mike.
And I'm going to have to bounce after this to go threaten my children to go to sleep.
Yeah,
I'm taking Juno. I love Gesicki, but he's just not seeing any kind of consistent targets. A couple weeks back, he had a touchdown in the first quarter, and it was like, oh, this is great. Thursday night football. I'm gonna have a giant lead with Gesicki everywhere. And if you would have went to sleep right then and there, you would have woke up and he would have had the same exact fucking points.
I know.
Because you didn't have another catch, and that's, you see what he did. What was it, last week? I think he put up a ton of points, but it's not every week there. I don't know why, because it's Devontae Parker, and then, but for whatever reason they want to spread the ball to, I guess, Jakeem Grant and Isaiah Ford, or I don't even know who the fuck is there.
Exactly.
In all honesty, he should be the second wide receiver there, but he's not. I'm not really sure why that is. Whereas Juno, he looks like a preferred option. They use him all over too, and they use him in crazy ways. So I'll take Juno.
All right, buddy. Well, you before you get out of here, tell everybody where to find you again, where to find that podcast. I'm not telling people where to find me. I pay child support, man. They might come over and come knocking and shit. Like, oh, you're late. No, fuck that. No, they already know how to find you. They already know how to find you.
I know, it's true. You got to fake your own death to get out of child support, I think. But then you probably miss your kids. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh my God.
What?
Just tell everybody about our podcast and say goodbye.
We're on Dynasty Trades HQ podcast. Join the Patreon because it's better than the free version. I'm not gonna lie to you, on the free version, I hold back and I don't give you my best. But if you pay me, I'm a slut. I'll give you everything you need. I will take it. I will do anything you want.
The chat is worth the Patreon. I'm a paying member, and the chat is worth the Patreon, guys. He's not kidding. It really is.
And the nudes,
we have a lot of fun there.
The nudes that I send.
Yes, and those too.
Yeah, just saying.
Say goodbye, Shane.
Bye, Shane. Later, gents.
See you, man.
See you, Shane.
Oh my God. It's a lot of fun doing that show with him. We've been doing it for almost 3 years now, and we have a lot of fun. So
I can't believe you haven't strangled him. There's times in that show I'm like, Blitz is gonna take about one more line and then Shane is done. He's getting the mute button.
No, I've had a lot of fun doing it. We've had some fun doing some in-person stuff in Vegas and in Florida, but it is a lot of fun. Hey, Chase is here.
What's up, Chase?
What's up?
What's going on, Chase?
What up, Chase?
It's funny because Doug was about to send some stuff to everybody so we could wrap everything up, but now Chase is here. So, Doug, send something to Chase. Ask him something.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What?
It just goes, what?
I'm sorry. I forgot there was comments again. Damn it.
You were going to wrap up everything with everybody in the room, and then you just added Chase. So you can talk to Chase now.
No, it's all good, guys. I was just getting an itch, man. I wanted to talk football, man. I spent the whole day with my grandmother and with my niece. I wanted to talk football, so I was like, hey.
You joined the wrong one then, because I don't think we've talked about football.
But wait, this is what happened last time. We spent the entire time all talking, then we lost Doug, and then Chase was like, no, let's keep going, and we started on Chase's feed to keep talking about football.
No, I do gotta, Chase is he's a DFS guy. I know he likes his weekly stuff, so I had a good one for him here in one quarterback league for redraft. I wanted Andy Dalton or Ryan Fitzpatrick rest of the season, homie?
Oh, that's tough, man. But you got to go with the strongest supporting cast, and probably the worst defense. Miami's defense is actually they're not great, but they're better by far than Dallas. I mean, they're kind of sneaky good. They suck up against the running backs, like to run up the middle because they're undersized, and they suck at trying to shift that offensive line around to be able to stop the running back up the middle. But yeah, I mean, overall that defense is better, and the supporting cast is better in Dallas. Andy Dalton wasn't a terrible quarterback while having a terrible offensive line for the Bengals. Dude, it's like Christmas for him. It is literally like Christmas for him, being able to get behind an offensive line that can give him 3 seconds to throw. I want to say over the past – this was some research I did over the summer, but over the past 4 years, Andy Dalton has had less – or right around – I think it was 2.72 seconds to throw. Dallas, I know, was well over 3. So he's sitting there with the heart on, ready to chuck the ball down the field. I know it.
He has to be a little bit disappointed in the fact that he's watched his offensive line, which is top 3 for years. And then the week before he comes in, Tyron Smith and Joe Looney both get hurt and they're out. And he's like, fuck, here we go again.
It's still a better offensive line, though. It's still a better offensive line.
It's way better than
that one was kind of slam dunk. Let me. I think I got one a little bit harder here, but Ryan Tannehill, Dalton, rest of the season, because that line there in Tennessee's been a big part in why Tannehill's had so much success in that running game. So Tannehill or Dalton, rest of the season.
That's a lot tougher for me. Tennessee's defense has been kind of a shadow of themselves from 2019. So you're going to have some games that has shootouts, but overall, rest of the season, I'm still sticking with Dalton at this point. I mean, dude, all you got to do is get the ball into Amari Cooper's hands, into CeeDee Lamb's hands, and hit Gallup, from time to time, and you're going to get your production. Not to mention Schultz is looking like a feasible backup. So, I really.
What do you think, buddy? You eat out all that? You agree with Chase here, buddy? Chase on that case? Is he on that case, buddy?
To be honest, it's a really tough question for me. While Chase was answering it, I was going back and forth seeing if I agreed with him.
Really?
I agree with them slightly. I agree with them slightly, just because of the way the offensive scheme is. Also, just because with Tennessee, they're extremely efficient. So obviously they're going to run the ball with Henry, and then Tannehill's going to take his shots off of play action. But Dalton, I mean, they're going to run Zeke, but it's not just they're not necessarily going to be run first. And their defense to me is way worse. So I'm going to go with Dalton just out of necessity, just because their defense is going to put him in such horrible positions every game. He's going to have to throw it, and he has the weapons, to do it. So I reluctantly will go Dalton.
And the volatility, too, from Tannehill is not good.
Yeah.
Right.
Nate above me, he was shaking his head. What were you thinking, Nate?
No, I am in agreement with that. The only other thing I would even add is that, so you said you don't know what snow is. When snow's on the ground, Derrick Henry gets the ball. And when Derrick Henry's running with snow when it's cold, nobody wants to hit it. I can see, even though it's pretty heavy, Tannehill, I mean, he's made the absolute most with what I hear, somebody said since week 7 of last year, he's like the QB3 overall, I think, in total points or something. So, I mean, per snap and per attempt, he's elite of elite of elite. I don't want to say regression because I hate talking about the regression, positive regression or negative regression. He's going to do what he's going to do. And I just think that inside, I'm going to give the nod even to Dalton again, just because they get to play the majority of the games inside. So he's not, focused or at least afflicted by snow. Snow sucks to play in, by the way, Mike, just in case you didn't know that.
I didn't know, but that's good.
So,
no, of course I knew, but yeah, that's cool.
Here's a quick stat for you on how good Tannehill's been. CBS Duck at NFL on CBS put out a tweet earlier this month that said, how good has Ryan Tannehill been since becoming the starter for the Titans? In 14 starts with Tennessee, Tannehill is 11-3, 3,602 passing yards, a 31-6 touchdown interception, and a 116.7 rating. Patrick Mahomes, the last 14 games, is 11-3, 3,674 yards, 28 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, and a 102.3 passer rating. Tannehill technically has played better in 14 games than Mahomes has.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Them persimmons have shown spoons the last 4 years, but it's been mild winters, you know? So what I'm saying here is you can't believe always what you hear, what the numbers say. I'll take Patrick Mahomes over Ryan Tannehill any day of the week, baby. Come on.
But I do love Dalton. I think Dalton's being very undervalued. People are remembering a player that played for a bad Cincinnati team with very, very few weapons and a mediocre offensive line, and he's going to have people to get the ball to. So,
was that you, Chase?
Yeah, I think mediocre is a little bit of a overstatement, a little bit of a boost to what that offensive line actually was. Man, that offensive line was terrible.
Well, I agree, but I didn't want the Bengals fan coming into my mentions with, "Hey, man, it wasn't that bad. We were middle of the pack." Okay,
dude, if they think that Andy Dalton was bad and not the offensive line, then they're not a real Bengals fan.
Do you really, Troy? Do you really care what people jump into your mentions and tell you?
No, probably not. But it gets old, you know.
The Bengals offensive line sucks.
Amen to that. Everybody thinks the way I talk, I'm racist. I love everybody. Moving on.
If we go back to the pre-show before we did this. So, Doug, do you have any more questions for any of the other guests that we have on the screen?
Yes, I had one more here. I wanted to get one more IDP one in here for Mr. Nate.
Okay.
Still here, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes, he's right next to you on the screen. Yeah.
Well, you can't see. Is it share screen? See, I told you I get confused now. Cipes, now come on.
Wow. I know. That's why I decided to do this with you. It's fun.
Man, I get so confused. Okay.
Is this a rest of season, or I guess you'll tell me the question? Sorry.
Hey, we're going to safety, buddy. We're going to safety.
Safety. Okay.
Hey, a real big name is Antoine Winfield. Seems like taking over control there in Tampa Bay as that rover and that big hitter we thought he was. Derwin James, banged up, maybe injury prone label.
Say that last name again.
Derwin James.
Oh, Derwin. Yeah.
Dynasty. Darkwing Duck. Derwin James.
Yes.
Or Antoine Winfield. Dynasty.
Okay, I was gonna say because the rest of the season would be pretty easy because I don't think he's playing for the next 6 months, right?
Yes.
Damn it! I was hoping for the slam dunk question just to sound good, but I still, oh man, I mean I'm gonna take the youth and the lack of a, surgically repaired shoulder and pinky and ankle and everything else. Winfield's only 22, and I mean. He's already pretty much gotten the eye of everybody else on that defense as far as the ability to take over the games. And so not that Derwin James doesn't, but I mean, I just got to go with the health at that point. I trust Winfield to give me at least the majority of the games.
Okay. Let me go just one harder before we get out. Jonathan Abram or Winfield?
Oh God. This is the Abram again he tore his shoulder up with the damn crane on the sideline. And I got again. I mean, in this weird COVID world and injury world that we're facing, I'm always going to err on the side of health, and I'm going to take Winfield, even though I think Abram's a better player. I think Winfield gives you the better floor as far as consistent, healthy production. Kyle, what do you think? I trust your opinion quite a bit. I always like to hear other people tell me.
KB.
Yo, what we debate? Winfield and who? And Abram?
Yeah. Or Derwin James or
any of the other ones they talked about. Yeah.
Rattle them all off. How much every safety?
Hey, KB, I want to ask you, buddy. Winfield or Buda Baker?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Rest of the season?
Rest of the season and dynasty, homie.
Oh my goodness. Well, Baker's going to be coming back. He had that little thumb surgery deal. I'm going to take Baker. He's been so good for the last few years here. I'm a huge Winfield fan. I was a big fan of him in college. He does it all. His old man was phenomenal back in the day. I mean, he was a blast to watch. I think they're both going to be awesome. I think they're going to be good for years to come. I'm going to side with Baker because I've seen it longer, and I do like what he brings to the table tackle-wise. He's just a stud for a safety. But Winfield, he's a ball hawk too, so I do like that aspect. And he's not afraid to come up and mix it up, and he will make plays picking it off and make those big plays for him. I'll take Baker, but it's really close. I'm a huge Winfield fan as well.
Can I bring up a stat real quick for that?
Sure, go ahead.
Stat away, baby. Stat it. I'm gonna take a shot.
I'm not a huge, DFS or I'm sorry, IDP guy. I do play IDP leagues, but I'm not like, all in on IDP. I got my hands full with everything else. But Arizona is like absolutely brutal when it comes to actually tackling players. I think they're in like the top 7 for missed tackles, especially when it comes to the linebacker position and the defensive end position. So with that being said, that allows a lot of opportunity for the safeties to rack up tackles and big time plays. I remember with Washington back like 10 years ago, I don't remember exactly who was the safety at the time, but they led the team in tackles and big plays and forced fumbles because the defensive line and linebackers couldn't tackle anybody. I think this is a very similar situation over there in Arizona.
Yeah, Chandler Jones being out for the rest of the season is just one more actually good tackler that's gone. To add to that, the Cardinals give up or score the 5th most points to the safety position. So that just reaffirms exactly what you just said.
Right. And then you get Baker matched up on George Kittle for 12 tackles a game. Every time.
That's absolutely true. Hey, Doug, before we wrap it up, why don't you throw something to both Troy's and Chase, and then we'll wrap up.
All righty. Let's go to running back for Troy.
Okay.
I want to know dynasty and rest of the season. Ezekiel Elliott, or let's go with.
Are you about to name like 5 running backs combined?
Exactly.
I was going to say you can name whoever you want. I'm going to say Zeke.
It'll be easy to wrap it up then, Troy.
Right.
Ooh, Dalvin Cook.
Still Zeke. I have never been a Cook fan because I don't trust his health. I feel I was doing I'm never happy that somebody gets hurt. So please do not load my DMs with you like when people get hurt. No, I don't. But I can
there goes the DMs again.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can be guaranteed every season that some people are going to get hurt, and Cook is one of those. He's going to miss 1 to 3 games, and you just hope to God that it's not in your playoffs or in your playoff hunt. Now, where he went out this year is probably the best situation for his owners, and he's a great running back. He's awesome when he's in, but is he going to be healthy every week when you need him? You know who doesn't get hurt? Ezekiel Elliott, that too. Now, if Doug will quit selling him weed, he'll be okay. But he's getting the good stuff from Doug, so that leads to a whole different problem. But as long as he stays away stays off the weed, man, he'll be all right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're not going to start talking about Doug selling Zeke weed. Doug, ask TK a question.
TK. All right, buddy. Let's go with 2 quarterback league Superflex. Excuse me. We're going with Kyler Murray or Alvin Kamara. Let's say that I'm sure everybody's team's in running back flux. You can really use that running back TK to set you over the top. And let's say you got a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick to maybe carry you through the year. So you got to give up Kyler, but you get Alvin Kamara. Rest of the season, what you doing, TK?
Dang, man. Yeah, that is actually a hard one. But I feel like
dynasty, right?
It's a dynasty or well, he said rest of the season.
Just the rest of the season, super flex league. Like I said, you got Ryan Fitzpatrick, you got a third quarterback there that you can get you through the rest of the season, and you're starting a guy maybe like, let's say Philip Lindsay, where Gordon got in trouble, but you could use Kamara to win that.
Well, if I gotta rely on Philip Lindsay, then yeah, I'll give me Alvin Kamara, and that give me Alvin in that scenario. Yeah, give me Alvin Kamara. I'll take him because my options aren't that great. So in that scenario, give me Alvin Kamara.
Hey, on that subject though, can I jump in with one thing real quick?
Absolutely.
How the hell is Melvin Gordon not getting suspended? How is he not suspended already? Isn't it in the collective bargaining agreement that he has to get 3 games for a DUI?
It's convicted though, right?
That's all
it's convicted.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was convicted. I thought it was if you got stopped for it, you were suspended. And now I know that the NFL's making up the rules as they go in COVID 2020, but that I could not believe, because there was people that spent a lot of money on waivers in a couple of leagues that I'm in for Philip Lindsay where he wasn't owned. Some short benches that I'm in. And the one guy's like, I feel like a total idiot right now. I said, according to the CBA, the guy should be suspended right now. But maybe it is that he's got to be convicted first. But I thought for sure that because he got stopped for it, that he was done for 3 games.
Well, he is done. He is done for this week. He's consideed out because of illness.
Yeah, but that's unrelated. That's not because of the DUI.
Right, but it could be, they could just be covering whatever. He's not playing this week. So the person that spent the money on Lindsay, he'll still take that advantage this week,
Yeah, but in fine print it says if you're having dinner with your mother-in-law, don't sit out.
We can't circle back to mother-in-laws because Shane already left. So before we wrap up, Doug, do you have one last one for Chase? Since Chase came in really late, go ahead, Chase.
I actually have some information for the last one.
Oh, you do? Okay, let's do that.
So you either have to be.
If you're not watching this on video, you're missing out because OklahomieDoug is his own show.
Like, listen. I'm trying to steer it so that it works, but yeah, we would. But go ahead, Chase. Wrap up with what you're talking about with Melvin.
So unless there's video evidence or audio evidence.
It's all over my pants. Just give me some new underwear.
I'm dead.
I have no way to mute him, so we have nothing. We can't do anything.
So there has to be some evidence brought forward, essentially, when it comes to the back over to this side of things. There has to be some sort of evidence brought forward outside of just breathalyzer or whatever, but they have to be convicted of it. What teams do, what you've seen in the past, is teams actually suspend their own players in order to keep a suspension happening in the playoffs. So teams will suspend their own player for a few games in hopes that the actual suspension itself, once it comes forward, will get reduced for the playoffs. So
and the NFL will recognize that, because that was a question also
on
Twitter.
It's not official, but it's kind of like it's kind of like a word of mouth or whatever. What kind of deal is that called?
A handshake.
A gentleman's handshake type thing.
But for this week alone, he's out because of quote unquote sickness. So
it would be better if he wasn't out because of sickness. It would have been better if he was out because of suspension or because
I agree. That seems like they're just brushing it, putting it on the rug.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
they should have put him out for team decision or something like that. Something that they could have went back to the NFL and said, but they may go to the NFL and say he wasn't really sick. We just said that so that
the NFL wants it to be like, hey, you guys suspended him because of this, so that way they can have that gentleman's handshake. That official type wording. So
it's weird. It's like are they concerned that they think in the eye of public opinion that we're going to go, if you suspend him, then he must really be guilty. I assume that he's guilty already because it's a DUI and there's not a lot of hearsay with that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I know you're not from Virginia Beach unless you have a DUI. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
I'm somebody that's very anti-drinking and driving because of. I'm somebody that's very anti-drinking and driving because of some family stuff. But I'll tell you, I know people that have gotten quote unquote off. Like the DUI was shady to begin with, but the cop didn't show up to court, so the DUI got got waived. So I mean that could happen, but man, this is bad
That's
right
what
now
we
for the
did one
Broncos.
time. We got him real drunk out at a bonfire.
No, Doug. No. Doug. Yeah, let's wrap it up and let's have everybody say who they are and where they can find them. And let's start with Nate up there at the top center.
Wow. Well, you luckily get to find Doug and I maybe at fantasyandframes.com. You can find me at Nate Marcum. We'll see you. Yeah, we'll be in the morning on. And I don't even know how to even advertise. I mean, it's everywhere. It's it's YouTube and Twitch, and you go to the Fantasy and Frames site, it'll direct you there. Doug will be on there. I can't wait.
With a headache.
Exactly, with a headache. That's early. That's tomorrow at 10 Central. And then I'm also on the Fantasy Playbook Pod. It's a part of the Fantasy Data Podcast Network. So tune in, awesome. Like, subscribe, comment, etc.
Thank you, Nate. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Troy King, TK.
All right, y'all. So I am a writer at Ball Blast. So you can check out my work. I just came out with a Myles Gaskin article today. So check it out on the site. Also, I am the co-host of Fantasy Football Confidential. We air on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, things like that. So check us out. And yeah, that's really about it. Just appreciate everybody. Guys, thank you for inviting me on, and just appreciate everybody, supporting me and showing me love. So
awesome. Love the mustache and the fact that your beard grew really fast.
You see that?
There's no way that I can mute him. So, all right, K-Bell.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at KBell54. You can find all my written stuff over at idpguys.org. Thanks for having me on, guys. This was a lot of fun. It was great meeting y'all. It was a good time.
I got it.
That's awesome. Thank you. The other Troy. Wait, this way. There you go.
Yep. So first off, can I just say that I don't know if everybody can see this, but on the screen that I'm looking at, it's supposed to say episode 2 Dumpster Fire with FF Blitz, and it says episode 2 Dupster Fire. I just noticed that. So if that gives you an idea of how much of a dumpster fire this is, he didn't even get the writing right when he was sober.
Yes, anyway, we've had a lot of.
I am also a Troy, and I am also a writer for Ball Blast. This is a recent thing for both TK and I. They're good. Ball Blast FF is the Twitter handle for it.
You the man, Dougie.
I am at VoiceEnFuego. I have no podcast at this time. I'm just writing. Maybe Blitz will let me come on and play on Dynasty Trades HQ one of these days. But I'm doing some behind-the-scenes stuff with Chase, and I'm trying to get some other things going. But I work a lot.
Absolutely, Troy. We have a lot of fun. We go back and forth on a lot of different things, so we'll work that out. And then Chase, thank you for joining us at the very tail end of all this. And go ahead, tell everybody about all the millions of things you do.
Oh, God, dude, this is going to take a whole nother hour. I can't do that. Now, all
right, then just tell us the
highlights. I hit you guys up. I tried to get to you guys early, but no. I had to wait till the end. But it is what it is, guys. I have fun talking fantasy football, so I do a lot of it. Fantasy intervention is something I'm extremely passionate about. We're taking this to a whole new level. We actually got a team over there that we're going to be working on, of course. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But you guys can find me over there at FF_intervention. It is what it is. You guys can
plow through it. Plow through. Go ahead.
I saw it pop up, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep my head down, but obviously I couldn't. So no, you guys can also find my stuff at Join Our Circle _ afterwards, because some knitting company took our actual name, Join Our Circle. So you guys can find us at Join Our Circle _ that's where fantasy intervention is happening. We got some quick hits coming out, or quick shots, I should say, along with multiple other things. I'm also working with at Some Yards, which is a company where we're teaching kids with special needs how to play fantasy football, which is
that's
cool.
Awesome.
That's
yeah,
great.
I love it.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys can also find me walking my dog at the grocery store and multiple other places. So you're gonna have to search for me in Virginia Beach, but I'll be here.
That's awesome. And Doug, thank you so much for inviting me to come play with you for a couple hours once a month. It is really a lot of fun. You can find me at FF Blitz on Twitter. Also on Dynasty Trades HQ with Shane and Jeremy. We have a lot of fun over there. And for quite a few years, Doug is dancing. He's been one of my favorite people. So the fact that he asked me to come do this with him, I told him I would do it. And I knew it would be crazy. And it actually lives up to the Dumpster Fire name. So thank you very much.
The Dumpster Fire.
The Dumpster Fire.
Yeah, I know he spelled it wrong, but that's fine.
No, it's amazing.
Before you get out, big shout out to FF Blitz. He's FF Blitz on Twitter. This guy is the consummate host, man. He does a great job with Dynasty Trades HQ, and I've never been on a show that had two hosts before. And this is actually pretty cool that for the host to get it going and everything. And Blitz he is the ultimate controller as the host. And if you've never heard Dynasty Trades HQ and him keeping Shane in line, that is a full-time freaking job. So big shout out for FF Blitz.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
I wonder if I can play some music.
Doug, say goodbye to everybody and let's wrap it up. Say goodbye, Doug.
Closing time. Time for you to go.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We love you all. Listen to us once a month. Goodbye.
Closing time. One last alcohol, so finish your whiskey.
Thank you so much, Troy. That was awesome.